everybody. Yes, you're tuned into United Voice of Women on ManaTV. This is Dani in conversation with two extremely smart, savvy, suave, and stunning women. One is Pooja Krishna, and the other one is Aditi Tandon. These women are trying to help me understand what their business is all about. They are entrepreneurs, and if you're just tuning in, I just wanted to give you a quick recap. What we're talking about is this beautiful website that they came up with. It is called Maroon Oak, and what it is a new way to connect dots. It is a career community for women. It is a great resource for working women, and how it works and what they really do is what we're trying to understand here. And I said, because I'm a new entrepreneur in my own way, I started this new show called UVW on ManaTV, and what I am doing, how I'd like to present it, how I'd like to publicize it, how I would get more viewership and to get better in what I'm doing, etc. How will your way of connecting dots help me personally? Right? So who's going to start off?
Well, this is something we love doing. We love working with women professionals, and you're a great person, and I would love to talk about a little more about what you do and where you can take it forward. But one thing I would recommend to every woman who is trying to establish a professional presence or has one or is growing one is to establish your brand. Now, we tend to think of brand as big companies. It is much more than a Tide or a diaper brand or a BMW. A brand is what you bring in your professional capacity to the world. It's what people talk about you after you leave the room. Do you think of me as smart, as well-informed, as silly, as witty? It can be any number of personas, and it is fine. There is no one rule. Everything works provided it is you and it aligns with what you do. So, you know, if you're a stand-up comic, you better come across as funny or witty. If you're a media person, you need to have a warm, outgoing personality, and
be loud.
This is the person I want to see on TV, and hers is the voice I want to hear. So that's a brand. But then there are nuts and bolts to how you go and establish that brand. And we live in a technologically rich world. We see the world through our lens. So everything has to be on your phone, on your TV, on your media. I would recommend a big part of starting your brand is establishing an online presence. Build a website. It's pretty easy and inexpensive to build a website now. If you can't do that, have a social media presence. Most of us are on Facebook in our personal capacity. We can also set up a Facebook page, which is like having a website, except it's for free and Facebook does everything for you.
Or you can come to Maroon Oak, which will give you a great, brand presence, with a beautiful profile. In fact, we have a very nice shot of there.
Okay, so it's up there. All right, yeah. So you can tell me more about it.
Yeah, so that's our website, and we encourage women to check it out. It's free, and it's pretty intuitive. You can work your way around. All you need to provide is your email, and you get started right away. And there is a profile that you need to build. It has certain components that you can fill and start right away. So I encourage every woman to check it out.
Okay.
Continuing on what you were talking about.
So what were you asking me to do there? So once I get in there and make myself a profile, so would it be centric to what I want to promote, or it would be
your profile is very similar to having an online resume or a LinkedIn profile. Okay. You share a photo, you can share a cover photo, which can be, say, your company's logo or something. Then you say, this is my website, this is what I do. If you work a specific time window, you can say, I work flexible or weekdays or weekends, or I'm available to work those days, or consult with you, depending on what your business is.
What I'm trying to ask here is, because you people are all about focusing on exactly what you're doing, right? So I have a profile. Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I just joined the club a year ago, and that's in the IT industry, right? So that's not my focus right now. What I'm really wanting to publicize and put myself out there as is more about the show of mine, more about my role here as, the Vice President, Global Media Relations responsibility. I want to be able to bring that out. This is a small new show, and we need to get it out there in the market, right? So if I want to focus only this, what would you suggest I do?
Absolutely. Talk about what you do. That's interesting. And if you wish, you can mention your past experience or the other things you do. If you choose not to, that's totally fine too. A lot of people are using different channels to focus on different aspects of their career. I do that very actively too. I do different things, and I use different mediums to talk about them. It's totally fine. So if you want to focus on your media work right now, share that. I'm pretty sure a lot of women would love to know about what you do, how you spread the message, how they can connect with you, and vice versa.
And they're going to actually help me connect with
So absolutely, yes. I think the rules are changing. One of the ways we try to make it is it's a career platform, but it's also a social platform. So there is an activity wall, just like Facebook, where you post your updates. But the reason I say the rules of engagement are changing, everybody is out there today. So if you come and post about yourself, and I do that, and she does that, there is just posting about each one of us, and that's the end of it. But what we are asking you to do is engage with others. In today's world, you do 80% basically give information and 20% is promotion. As long as you do 80% promotion, nobody stops by because they're like, oh, there she comes again talking about herself.
So that's not going to work.
No, it's the 80-20 rule of today. You give out a lot of free advice most of your time and then capitalize. That's what all brands are doing. I mean, if you go onto any Facebook page, they give you articles, they give you so much free information.
Correct.
In the hope that when they sell, you're happy because you're like, okay, they gave me some good things. So that's one component.
Okay.
The other is that there are people you might want to collaborate with in terms of, you're interviewing women who are, professionally somewhere and you want to talk.
All kinds of women, actually.
So you could do your homework and reach out to whomsoever you want on the platform, because this is a platform for career women, right? Unlike Facebook, which is for anybody. You don't have to be career oriented or anything. This is a platform for career women. So you can do your homework, reach out to people. We have one page which is called opportunities, where members actually either post if they want to hire or they want to collaborate. So if you put, I want to hire for, say, makeup. So that way people who are offering makeup can reach out to you, or you can go search makeup artists and then reach out to them. Look, this is my show and I'm looking. So let's start the conversation.
Or let's talk about the set. I want a different set for my show. So I can actually put that in there. That's who knows?
That's hiring.
A lot of people
or
are
you
interested.
Could collaborate. So, you could collaborate with the stylist. Look, I need help with my styling.
Yes.
But in return, I can offer you this. So it's dependent on you.
Yes.
And then we have another page which is promotions. So you can even say, maybe not so much for you, or could be that, a baker can say 20% off the next order.
Yeah.
So it automatically gets populated in the promotions page. So anybody who checks out the promotions page can see all the women offering some kind of promotion in their business.
Amazing. So when you say branding, does this also come under branding? No.
Absolutely. This is the basic business, but the branding is about us, what we do, what we bring, and I mentioned getting on social media, and just to prove that we are on social media too. You can find us either on the web, but also on the top 7 social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and I'm missing one more.
Medium.
And we also publish on Medium. So
you're out there in every.
So you can find us and connect with us everywhere. And going back to one point of building a brand, I can reach out to you, I can share my Facebook page with you, and I say, okay, come on, sign up, we are the best. But once you've seen that message, you already know what I do and you've lost interest. So what we do actively, and which I will recommend every entrepreneur at least, that when you're sharing messages, make it about your customer or your audience. So what we do very actively is, we talk about ourselves on our social media, but mostly we focus on career-related tips and content and advice. I'll give you an example of what we do on Instagram, for example. Instagram is very visual.
I've never done it yet.
Yes, Sachin, maybe request you to
talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Instagram video, so you need to.
Yeah?
It's a very visual platform. So if you have a look at our Instagram profile, and we'll show you a quick snapshot of our last 6 or 7 recent posts.
Okay.
Most of them will talk about what you do on your career, you know. So one of them is called an entrepreneurial menu, and you have a look at that, and you know, it's nothing about why you should sign up with Maruno, but everything about what a strong or a good entrepreneur does.
Wow.
And similarly, so you see, we have 6 visuals. We have a lot more.
Do we have that screen up there?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll come up there. Yeah,
Right.
Please.
So,
yeah.
We are talking about careers and tips and advice. So yes, the rule is talk 80% about them or your customers and talk 20% about yourself. Far more people will listen, but very importantly, they will come back to listen to you.
That's
and
amazing.
that is really the big cornerstone of building a strong brand. People associate with you with value. This is somebody I can learn something from.
That's amazing.
That's a big part. There is every information available today. There are millions of entrepreneurs, companies, products. There are tons of stylists, florists, writers, techies. You know, how are you different from somebody else? You're different because you offer value that nobody else does.
Which is important, because if anybody out there sits down and thinks, okay, up till now this is what I was, and you can change today.
Yes.
A brand or whatever you want your image to be conveyed out there takes time to build. But the good thing is you can start any day. Like, you know, a year later, and this has happened to us. Like when we started Instagram, we weren't sure. I mean, you know, is it even needed? But then as a company, you realize there's a channel out there. It's a free channel.
Why wouldn't you
if
want
you
to put your
don't
stuff
do
there?
it, it's your loss. But, you know, it doesn't come like this. You got to work at it. It has taken us months to understand it, you know, to basically get the best out of it. And yes, you see accounts with huge followings and all that. Everything takes time. So don't compare your chapter, you know, 1 with their chapter 5. You'll get there.
Correct.
But the good thing is, a year later, you look back and say, at least I started. You know, and now you don't say, oh, I wish I would have started. So any day is a good day to start. Just start.
This is the first step I'm going to take. Just make sure that I'm on every channel that's open out there.
That is right.
Right? That's a fantastic way of starting,
It
right?
is worth keeping it up, but in the long run, it's probably worth it.
Awesome. Okay, another brilliant thing I liked about what you guys are doing is, besides just getting people to connect and get information from each other, which is fabulous in itself, you people are also providing tons of information over there. Right? You actually yourself have put in a lot of information out there for everybody. And while we're talking about that information, you know, quickly again, you know, when you get personal about it, I think you understand things much better. Right? And that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So I told you that I just got into the entrepreneurial club last year. Right? Now I know they talk about women-owned companies always have advantages that you should be able to get yourself into, but I have no clue about how one should do it. So again, do you know what I'm talking about?
We do, yes.
You do, right?
Yes.
So I know that, you know, this is something people have told me earlier, but I'm not doing anything because I don't know where to start.
There's a lot of good business resources out there. There is a company called SBA, which is the Small Business Association. They offer, then there is SCORE, but more importantly, I think SBA offers a certification which is called the Women and Minority Owned Business. So it's either MWOB or WMOB.
Okay, women owned?
Women owned.
It's women and minority. So
okay,
as a woman, you have both advantage as a woman and as a minority. So we come under both categories. So there is a certification for that.
And how do you get that?
I think you just go onto the site and there is the entire paper.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you're in incorporated,
SBDC.
It's with the SBDC, the Small Business Development Corporation.
Oh,
SBDC.org. This is available to companies in the US or entrepreneurs in the US states. And I believe that you probably need to be a company, either an LLC or an LLP for that, and you need to be able to prove to them that you are the majority owner. But invariably, if you are an LLC, you have filed a particular business plan with your state, and therefore it's pretty easy to prove it with that.
Yeah, so you just have to get onto that website and find out more details about it.
That's right. Oh, they have everything.
Essentially, how does it help? There are a lot of ways, but very simply put, I think one of the advantages is when you're competing in certain sectors, or even now companies, as part of their CSR, which is corporate social responsibility, they have to give certain business to
The minority.
So in certain fields, you can have an advantage because you got the certification. Until then,
Absolutely.
even if we are women, we can't go and say, I'm a women-owned minority business. I need that certification, basically.
That is so true.
It
And
also,
being in the IT industry, it's a highly competitive industry.
Very much, and very
right? So this could
male-dominated.
really help if I did that.
Absolutely. And also if you need any kind of grants or government supports or government contracts, those favor women in minority owned businesses very well. There's clearly an edge there.
So we also have a parallel, we run a career community on Facebook, which is called Career Community for Women. So which is again a free entry thing. So you can definitely check it out.
Career community for women?
Career networking for
Career
women.
networking for women.
Wow.
It's a group, yeah.
Career networking for women.
Yes.
What you're also trying to do here is, I'm saying there are many people that wouldn't even get that idea in their heads. See, when you just get into the, routine of home and kids, and, once you take a break, and, or you never were interested in a career, now kids are growing up, but you have time for yourself, but you've never even got yourself thinking about a career because you have no clue about what's going on. So I'm saying that what you're providing on Maroon Oak could be a blessing to somebody like that who could just casually browse. Okay,
yes,
have a look at what's happening, and then something might strike, and she might think that this is something that I could do. And it's all about knowledge is power.
Yes.
When you see things happening around you, I think it brings out a completely different dimension. Wow.
Absolutely.
This is actually amazing, Wow, I like it.
Thank you.
This is an aha moment. You know what, like Oprah says, I'm like sometimes when I'm talking to my guests, when something really strikes, and I feel, yeah, this is an aha moment.
Absolutely.
So it's also for people that have never even thought about a career. I really want to urge everybody out there to go and, just log on and browse through it and see what other women are doing.
I agree. In fact, I have one thing to say. It's very easy to say, look at it and the idea will strike you. Sometimes it doesn't. You still split between, but I like this, I like that too.
You can talk.
I think there are two ways to approach this. One is that you look at it from top down. So find out, where do you want to be a few years later? Okay, what do you want to be known for? And then work backwards.
Or what are you good at, maybe?
That's the second step. I think there are two alternate pathways.
Okay.
So one is, right now I have these 3-4 things that I think I'm good at, or I'm passionate about this and this and this.
Okay.
But if I look at myself in the future, where do I want to be? How do I want to be known? How do I want, my kids to know me 5 years from now? Okay, they want me to be the biggest media personality. Then I know I gotta work towards building that only. Let aside everything else. Because the fact is, if you dilute your focus, we'll always be everywhere. So imagine yourself in the future and then take it backwards. And the second thing is, as you said, identify what you're good at, and not everything you're good at is making money for you. So even that, you need to figure out.
Very important.
That I love, collecting fabrics, but it's not really, unless I can make a way to make money out of that, let me find a skill that I can. Again,
connecting dots here could help possibly, because if you're interested in fabrics, and maybe you could, catch up with somebody who is into tailoring, and you could actually go various ways. It could be garments or furniture, or it could be anything.
Absolutely.
A million things.
Follow your passion. I mean, at least it's worth giving it a shot. If you like doing something, follow on your ideas or ask somebody else. This is what I love doing. Where can I take it to? There's so much information, so much going on. Talk to the right people.
So how would you talk about what you're able to do today? Who contributed more? Your personal self or the surroundings? Family, circumstances, situations, external or internal was playing the bigger part in what you were able to carve for your own selves today?
That's a great question.
Because that is going to help people understand how this came up.
I would absolutely love to give a brilliant answer to this, but Vani, in my case at least, the truth is that who you are is an influence or a confluence of 100 different things that happen in your life. Personal life, professional journeys. There are times you wonder if I shouldn't have done this, but then you make something of it, and then there are really no regrets anymore. Personally, all of us go through some challenges in our personal lives. I did too. And you know, where we are, I think it's a good place. I have to say, I have a very supportive family. My husband is very supportive. So as a mom and as a full-time entrepreneur who manages 2 companies and does a whole lot of other things, he lives with the dirty dishes and the laundry and the messy home, and he's so gracious about it. And so I think you carry that positivity and the gratitude. And my child wants to work with me. You know, she's a young girl, but she wants to work with me. That makes me feel good too. So who we are, and I think that's true for everybody, is a sum of all the different parts of our lives.
So true, so true. But you would say that there is a lot of influence, external influence on every individual.
I agree.
Right, that's what I'm trying to talk about, because it's very nice that somebody has that kind of support. But in case somebody doesn't have, and maybe even you had to, you know, go through a process before the whole family reached to a point today where everybody is able to accept things the way they are. But I'm sure you went through a journey yourself.
You know,
right?
You're right. Like in my case, I will thank my husband, because yes, he takes the pain of being my husband. And he is extremely supportive. Even when I was at home, he understood the fact that I had a fire where I wanted to earn my own money, and that was the bottom line. It didn't matter what you brought in. Yes. It was, you know, it's with us career women. It's not about what can I, it's what I want for myself. It's my own money. So he got that. And throughout these years, and it's been a learning process. I won't say that, you know, we came into this knowing that, oh, we will divide everything. No. There have been fights, there have been ups and downs, but I think we both have learned. And the important thing is to realize that we are both equal partners right now here. So no matter who brings home the bacon, who doesn't, we are equal partners, and we both realize that. And that's...
I have a quick question there.
Sure.
While you're talking about it. So to get there, to get to that particular spot, there is a lot of work, right? So what would you say it is?
Well, I will not discount the fights that have happened, but I really feel that a relationship needs effort from both parties, right? It needs a give and take from both parties. So there have been times when, yes, I have had to step back. There have been times when he has to step back, and there are still times when we both don't agree. So there's a status quo that goes on.
So would you say that conversation, communication helps the best in this situation?
Totally. And I think open communication, and this as a woman and knowing a lot of other women, I would say is that we keep a lot to ourselves, and we let those feelings fester and say, you know, he doesn't get all that I'm doing. I was talking to a bunch of other moms, and we realized that for most of us, our weekend lives are also very structured. If there are entertainments, you have to plan yourself, the family, the meal times, and so on. So a lot of women probably don't really get downtime, empty time to do something.
Correct.
And the minute we actually put it down in black and white or explain it, I think it helps. Yes, every woman's journey and her relationship is different, but putting it out clearly does help a lot.
Thank you extremely for being my guest on this show today. It was a total pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, I think I'm definitely hoping that you enjoyed this conversation with these two lovely ladies today on United Voice of Women. Would you want to do this with me? United? Yeah, United Voice of Women. Yes, thank you so very much. And thanks for joining. I can't wait to catch up with each one of you once again next week, same time, same place, right here with another guest that will be as inspiring, as motivational, and as engaging as these two lovely ladies were. And finally, before I say thanks to everybody, I have to say a big thank you to Amreen from Roma Salon, who did my hair and makeup today, and I really like it. And thank you very much, Roma and Roma Salon and Amreen. And hey everybody, take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Until next time, it's ta-da.